morning, everybody, and welcome back to a sleepy and post-sleep deprivation Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host. Also, there's Quindy and John. Hi, everybody. Twistoma, you're not going to hear anything on my intro screen because I have sound muted, which is good, because otherwise you guys would hear me like yelling at Kiki because she's digging at the floor. Things like that. Starting screen, no sound. On purpose. Don't worry, nothing is broken. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the late start. I did not expect my weekend in Ashland to be so sleep deprivation heavy, but apparently it was. It turns out that when you have a play that starts at 8, it doesn't end at 10. It ends at like 11:30. So, and then when I get to sleep that late, I don't go to sleep right away because my thing is disrupted, right? Because I'm used to going to sleep at going to bed at 10:45 and asleep by 11. So yeah, so I ended up getting horrible sleep all weekend. Very little of it, and that kind of impinged on the goodness of the weekend. But it also meant that I was really sluggish heading into today. But I actually got good sleep last night. It's just that, you know, after you have a lot of sleep debt and then you get one day of good sleep, you wake up and you're kind of a slug. Your brain is like moving through molasses still. Yeah. No, late nights for Ann are not good, Twisted Oma. I am a very pro-sleep person. Like, I didn't remember when it flipped over, but at some point in my 30s, I realized that sleep had to be my number one priority, and I made it so. So I was very unhappy with the situation, and I informed David's parents that, like, next time, if we do this next time, because I love the plays, that was fun, but I don't enjoy not getting good sleep, because essentially I had to, like, you know, because you get no good sleep and you're just grouchy and you're like low energy and you don't want to do anything, and, you know, not the situation you want to be in when you're with your in-laws on vacation. So essentially I had to be constantly watching my mouth lest I say something grumpy. It was not good. Messy sculpting materials. You're going to be lurking? Okay. No problem, Julie. You go, you sculpt. First day of potty training. Unsuccessful in an unexpected way. Yeah, so. Yeah, I would do the gradual approach. I mean, sure. I mean, some kids beg for it, and some kids are just like, nope. It'd be a thing. I think you have the right idea to individualize it, Laura, because I really believe that every kid is different on this. Just like every dog is different, every adult is different, everything. Yeah, that's a bit more. Since I prioritize sleep and I do all the things. So like I take I make sure that I wind down in the evening. I do my stretches. I keep the light low. No more screens. All the things. I do all the things. You know, go to sleep at the same time every night, within 15 minutes. Well, exactly, Hyper. That there are afternoon shows. They didn't work for us this time because we wanted to see certain plays. And the schedule just didn't accommodate us. But next time, I'm essentially going to let the time of the show influence which plays I want to see. Because honestly, we saw 3. We saw Macbeth the first night, which is one of my favorite, obviously, and probably Quindy's ultimate favorite, because it's the spookiest Shakespeare play ever. And they did, oh, Quindy, you would have loved it. There were goth girls in the audience, Quindy. Like, when we came out, we were behind a group of, like, teenagers dressed in like goth gear who had gone to Macbeth to see the spooky, like, and it was creepy. The witches were so creepy. It was fantastic. It was done so well. Like, definitely like hit up here as far as the like expectations meter. I loved it. Yeah, emotionally not ready. Yeah, I think so too, or Laura. That sounds great. This is the Shakespeare capital of the USA. So the whole town is very much like the Shakespeare Festival is the point, and the rest of the town has embraced the tourism aspect. So the main street, like running right down the middle, has the theaters built off of it, and there's a park, and then there's themed shops. Like, you can get tarot readings, you can get, you know, like there's more, like there's like a lot of handmade type of shops. There's a soap shop. So of course my heart. I bought so much soap this weekend. I'm a soap nerd. Yeah, yep. And with Wagner, it'd be worth it, War Shadow, because I'm actually a huge fan of the Ring Cycle because I love mythology and I just love those things. It's the only opera I think I can sleep through. But yeah, the witches were super creepy. They had these crazy masks on and their fingers were all like wires twisted out from them. It was really cool. It was like semi-modern costuming, but the play was pure traditional, which is actually I think what I prefer if you're going to give a modern spin to Shakespeare. But then second night was Jane Eyre, which I did not expect much from, but loved. Actually was my favorite play of the whole weekend. And then the third night was Much Ado About Nothing, which they went way over the top with the comedy, which I enjoyed, but David's mother was very complaining about. Yeah, so essentially it goes from like late spring or mid-spring to mid-fall till October, Laura. And the whole town, like, this is the town's biz. Like, that's what it does. So it's like halfway between, it's a little less than halfway for us, but it's like halfway between like the Bay Area and Seattle. And it attracts people from all over that area. So. Yeah. I'm not a big opera fan, but I make an exception for Wagner. And some of the other like classical type operas, but I don't enjoy them as much as I enjoy plays. All right, we're gonna tune a bit of this NMM today, so I'm gonna get out my lemon yellow and my Death Knight black, and while we talk about Shakespeare and all the other stuff, we can actually get moving on this. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy somewhat breaking of the fourth wall, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But if the play is about it, it's fine. It depends. It depends on how well done it is. But this company was top notch, so they get all sorts of awards. You can tell that they're still struggling to come back from the pandemic, though, because the house was only, I would say, for Jane Eyre, it was actually, for Jane Eyre and Much Ado, it was much more full. Oh, I should show you guys the theater. It's pretty darn cool. Of course, they have 3. And the Macbeth one was indoors, so it was not in this what I'm about to show you. But that was because they had to do the lighting effects and everything like that, so let me get, there we go. So this is what their outdoor theater looks like. That was right as we just came in at the start. It got fuller than this. But that was the scene for Jane Eyre. And then what happens is they can essentially, there we go. So they can change out this panel, and this panel. And this is a stage that comes out and back down here. Hey Raiders. Hey Casual Painter. Sorry, I went to Shakespeare over the weekend, so I was showing people the theater. It's pretty cool. And at night, you would have liked it, Quindy, because later in the play, the bats were all flying around up here in the little lights. And I'm going to grab my pure black, because I want to be able to put a pure black shadow in here. So let me grab that. But yeah, so it was way cool. I just wish it would have been not so long and late, because I did not. And of course the room, when you're renting a house, you're in a hotel, you get blackout curtains. You're renting a room, or in a house, you don't get blackout curtains. So that also was disruptive, because essentially the light started to come up at like 4:30 a.m. because we're further north. And that was bad for my sleep as well. So yeah, it was just not ideal. Next time I bring like something to like block out windows, and I ask for earlier plays. But the restaurants were good. Hey Dogfather, thanks for the resub. 50 months. Casual Painter, how you doing? You still on? I've seen you here and there. Did you have a good weekend? I had a very sleep deprived weekend. All right, so we're getting our colors here, and I'll show you guys where I'm at. All right, So we got Pure Black, Death Knight Black, which is a liner color that was in a fast palette. One of those collections of 6 colors that Reaper was doing, and still does a couple of, I think. But you could get this, probably, the closest thing would be Black Indigo in the main line. You painted Fallout Monster? Cool. Yeah, I'm just trying to tune the non-metallic metal on our little halfling here. We started out with underpainting that he used to be only these colors, which you see on the sword and the helmet and the breastplate. So I blacked in the whole model in these colors, and then I just used glazes to paint everything else. So now I want to refine the NMM a bit, because it was mostly sketched in. For me, plays are kind of like movies. They take a long time, and like the plays take even longer. So it's like I like going to the theater, but I don't do it very often because it's so time consuming, and when it goes late, it's really not conducive to good and rest. I grew up doing theater in high school and a little bit in college. Took a set design class in college. That was fun. All right, so we're going to be mixing up these colors, which the original colors we were using were, of course, the Death Knight Black, the Lemon Yellow, and the White. The Lemon Yellow being our light source color, so along with the white. So we're going to be just trying to make the sword look a little bit better. Also, I think I went a little bit too... I need to adjust the light a little bit, make sure that it is reading correctly. I enjoy watching them, but it's like TV and it's like all visual media for me. It's like when it comes down to it, most of the time I would rather be working on my own stuff. But, you know, I like Shakespeare, so for me it's this was a good thing. It's just, yeah, I just wasn't expecting it to be so much of a disruption to my sleep. And it was a huge disruption to David's mother's sleep too, but apparently she doesn't get hit as hard with that as I do. Kiki? Oh, you good. Good girl. You're good. Never mind. All right, so our light source is coming from here. The helmet's about right. I think I want to bring up more in the middle here with the white. The white with a little bit of yellow. So we're just going to try to tighten this up a little bit. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was fun, Derek. It was just a lot of sleep debt. So if we do it again, I'll be requesting matinees instead of evening plays. We just wouldn't have been able to see Macbeth if we had gone earlier. And that was really my priority play because I love Macbeth. I like Much Ado as well, but... So we're just going to blend this in a bit, make it a bit more harsh, and lose a little bit of this line. Soften it down since it's directly toward the light. I want a little bit of a shadow, but not a lot. Right there. There. Minimize it. So there you go. But yeah, it was fun, Derek. It was, I was surprised that Jane Eyre was my favorite, and I really enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I read the book. So we're going to mix a little bit of a transition gray here, using the Death Knight Black and the yellow, just so I can outline around the little bolt there on the top of the head. I learned something interesting about fidgeting on my nutritional podcast, that if you overeat, you're more likely to fidget. And this has been actually like done in, they've like looked at this in studies, but apparently it's your body's response. For sometimes it's your body's response. It doesn't, and of course not for everybody, but your body's response to having too many calories can be to up your fidgeting because your body's trying to burn more. I thought that was really interesting. I used to be a great fidgeter when I was a kid. I used to always have my leg going or something like that. And I definitely did eat more as a kid, although, of course, you know, with kid metabolism, you don't suffer the way you do as an adult. There we go. So I just wanted to smooth out this, make it work a little bit better. It was still pretty rough before. The sword is really, really rough, so we're gonna tackle that next. All right, I want to darken down the shadow here a bit so that we get a little more contrast. I ate completely off diet this weekend, so now I'm getting back in the groove today. Luckily, I am well aware that the weight I gained back is 90% water weight, so it hasn't put me back on my healthy eating for too much. But it was just useless. There was just no way that I was going to be able to stick to diet and eating less when we're going out to like dinner twice a day. It's just like, I would have happily eaten both lunch and breakfast at the house, but everybody else wanted to have like either breakfast or lunch go out, so I was somewhat resigned to a bit of weight gain this weekend. Tried to minimize it. Yeah. The fidget. Yep. Yeah. Like I said, it's not true of everybody, Shadow Raven, but I found it very interesting. It says that it was one of the body's mechanisms to control. Yeah, I'm not a fidgeter now, but I used to be bad about it. I'm not sure why or when it stopped. So I'm going to just accentuate these plates a little bit because I didn't really before, just so you can see the little bits of metal coming down right here. This is mostly reflected light, so we're just going to leave that a little darker. And pick up the light on the edges of these plates a little more, just to define them. Yeah, it doesn't work for me, Pendrake. I'm very much I have a sleep schedule, and when I can keep to that sleep schedule, I sleep really, really well, like sleep scores in the 90s, according to my Fitbit. But I really feel it if I can't get that quality sleep. It does not, and it does not help me to sleep later. Like, it helps a little bit, like, if I just do, instead of getting up at, like, 7:20, getting up at, like, 8, but there's no way I'm staying in bed past 8. Unless I'm sick. If I'm sick, then I can, but... Yeah, I would die on 6 hours. I hate to say it, but it is part of why I decided not to get another cat. Because my cat also woke me up a lot. And I just can't do it. Cannot do it. Sleep debt has too big of consequences to my health. I couldn't. Now there's no way. No way. So darkening the shadow here and down there is going to give us better, more of a shiny feel. Luckily, Kiki is, since she was a baby, obviously I had to get up in the middle of the night to take her out when she was a baby, but now she's a really good sleeper. So I did shade a little bit with black. I need to get this out of frame so you guys can see better. There we go. I did shade a little bit of this with black, you can see down here, but I want to blend this whole thing in a little bit better. And I need to thin down my Death Knight Black a little. It's a very translucent color, so it's actually really good for layering. But I did leave it a little harsher. Yeah, I had the leg jog thing. I was always doing that as a kid. With the fidgety thing. But I never do it anymore. Great, Pendrake. I've started to have him come and walk her on the months when we don't have him engaged, so she remembers him better. And that helps. She only treated him like an axe murderer for a little bit of time. I want to get a little bit of this. Oh. Put my phone on. Hold on while I turn it off. I put it on while we were in the car so that we could do the GPS and have... Bridget sent me a puppy picture. I had to say something. She's doing a litter evaluation right now on one of Mindy's litters. All right, we're gonna just kind of blend these two together. Keeping this round shape because the helmet is rounded. See if your potassium levels are okay, Twistedoma. A lot of us don't get enough potassium in our diet, and I find that sometimes if I have that going on, taking a potassium pill or eating, in the old days when I could have bananas, like eating half a banana would help a lot. This potassium is something that can help with that a lot of times. Because potassium balances out sodium. And a lot of us get too much sodium. They kind of cancel each other out in your diet. So I found I had to watch that with keto because I would get sleeplessness and then realize that I hadn't balanced my sodium intake very well that day. Just an idea. If you're up for trying something. And I don't know if you do the whole not watching any screens for an hour before bed and stuff like that. I'm sure you've tried stuff. So we're bringing in just a bit of reflected light here. I don't know, you'd have to look it up. It depends on the size of the banana. Yeah, it's just a banana is much easier to eat when you're like tired and want to get to sleep than eating a bowl of spinach. Coconut water is a good source too. So just like that, I don't want it nearly as bright, you can see, but I want it. Yeah. Yeah, watch out for they don't want you to OD on potassium. It just depends on how much you have on your diet. But if you're already taking that stuff, it depends on how much sodium you have in your diet too. The other things that can help are like avoiding looking at screens for the last hour, doing some stretches before bed, like yoga or whatever you can manage. Making sure that you get a little exercise in the latter part of the day. It could be. Yep. For sure. There are plenty of strategies and there are plenty of health issues that could be contributing for sure. I just like to be helpful. But I don't like to see anybody not getting good sleep because I know what a huge whammy that is on your body. All right, so we've got this looking pretty okay down here. I like the shadow. I'm going to put a little bit of a darker shadow right up behind these plates because there should be one. Yeah, talk to your doctor before you up any supplements because potassium can be definitely not a good one to take too much of. So I wouldn't up it without a doctor consult. You can eat as many foods as you want with it, but the supplements can apparently be problematic. All right, so we're gonna take our Death Knight Black and just kind of layer in more of a shadow here. Kind of change the shape of our highlight here to kind of oval instead of round. Let's kind of emphasize that a little bit more. Is it the best day, Trash? I assume you've talked to your doctors about it, Twisted Oma, so do what you can. It's a bummer, though. I don't know. I would be pretty... If that happened to me, I would be so frantic to fix it. All right, so we've got our reflected. We got that. That looks good. Yeah, I like it. Okay, cool. Now the sword. Sword is really blocked in. I need to take a look at the light. I definitely need to kill some of this. It's John Day. Halfling Day is John Day, huh? You identify, John. I identify with dwarves. Not so much now that I don't drink. I'll have to find a new mythological race to ID with. Alright, so I'm going to make a shadow here because it's across the helmet is blocking the light here. And I'm going to kind of opposite diagonal that and make more light bounce back here. This is a pretty short blade, so we don't have a lot of room to do all those light and dark transitions that a lot of artists like to do on metals. So I'm going to stick to kind of doing diagonals like this. Usually if you put dark, dark, light, light, it won't look correct. I'm going to blend this a bit better. It's a little too yellow. Crocs and a 4-foot beard. It's Adventure John. That's funny. So I still want to get a little bit of an edge here, but I'm going to make it real thin, real fine. Just a little bit, not like as broad as I had it before. I want to do a little bit more blending along the side of the blade. We really need to have a few basing days, I think, in a row. Maybe we'll take a whole week and just do basing on various models. Just doing a bit of blending to get that to transition a little nicer. Yeah, you probably are fine on that then, Twistedoma. Never hurts to like have them look at your levels, your nutrient levels. Could be something completely different, just like Hyper said. Ah, oh no. That was not what I wanted to do. Thought I had light on my brush and I had dark. Still a little bit wobbly today, guys. Oof, I should be better by tomorrow. Another night of good sleep will get me much better. I'm going to slim down the light down the center of the blade as well. I feel like it's a little thick. Yeah, people who say that vitamins don't work have never like had issues. I feel like I can see direct evidence of my vitamins working too. Hyper. So I'm just going to take some Death Knight Black and just kind of like brush it right along this line. Just thinning that line down the center of the blade out a little bit. I'll brush it on the opposite side to thin it. You can see the dark, dark, light, light, but I'm going to keep this light cooler because it's away from our light source, just like I kept this light cooler. Using more of a white with the Death Knight Black and a lot less yellow. Oh my god. Yeah, it can be a nutrient imbalance. It can be all sorts of things, Trash. I don't know how much you exercise or do any of that other stuff. There's a lot of factors that can play into sleep, though, and tiredness. That's why I take creatine. I was having a lot of fatigue. And I think I'm gonna go. I don't think I want to go to my regular GP about it. I think I'm gonna switch doctors. I have to look into this other doctor. Yep. Yeah, vegetarians and vegans have to watch those B vitamins for the same reason. It's harder to get the B vitamins if you don't eat meat. Yeah, it is a hard thing to nail down, Laura. You're right. And game revolving around figure jewelry, that's a little bit odd. But, to each their own. All right, I'm pretty happy with the metal on the front, guys. I feel now that we can switch around to the back. And I was already kind of putting some different like lights and darks here. I still feel like I need to focus on the one down here. Yeah, I'm thinking of switching to a doctor that's more, that's part of an aging related foundation. Somebody who focuses a little bit more on people as they get older in the process of aging, the aging science that's out there now. I think I want that. But I need to look into this doctor first before I switch, because switching can be a pain. Ah, I see. Shadow Raven got it. It is rare that someone comes onto the stream and says, hello, Quindy. Hi there, Gone. Do you know Quindy from Luca's stream? I'm just going to minimize this shadow up here because there probably wouldn't be much unless there's something blocking the light on this side, which I can totally keep this, but I want to minimize it. So I'm just kind of shrinking it down with like little bits of brushwork. And then we'll extend this shadow up a bit. He's taking a teacher work week, huh? Yeah, kind of a gerontologist. You're right, Turgeon. Yeah. I feel like having somebody that's more focused in that direction might help me as far as a doctor. All right, we're gonna blend this a little bit. So is Luca off all week then? Taking a mental health, quote, teacher work week? Yeah, you have to really go and push doctors to give you like actual information. It's kind of a shame. It's kind of why I want more of a doctor who specializes in aging, because I'm looking to do a lot of anti-aging stuff with my exercise and diet, just stuff that'll keep me going longer. I really want to live a long time and have a high quality life, so it would be nice to have somebody on that journey with me who understands the science of what we know now. Oh, a little bit too much white up there. I totally blurfed it out. There we go. That's looking nicer now. Oh, he's catching up in shipping and stuff. I see. Aaron earned an iron urn. Aaron earned an iron urn. That's funny. That's funny trash. That's a good one. Yeah, it's more like iron earn, iron earn. Iron for Aaron, iron for iron. I don't really want an AI doc. I want somebody who I can talk with. Also, AI docs can't really like do things like run blood tests for, or run tests for like liver function and crap like that. Just gonna get a white line right up the edge here. Make sure that we've got that nice and strong. Yeah, there's so much stuff out there that's like says it's anti-aging and you never know, and sometimes it's like proven and sometimes they show that it's not doing a lot, and I just don't know. It would be nice to have somebody to navigate that minefield with me. Like, mostly I understand that, you know, the best anti-aging thing is exercise. Hands down, no question. If we had a drug that could do what exercise does for you in the anti-aging department, everybody would be taking it. Mostly I'm just concerned because a lot of stuff just slowly builds in you over time. And a lot of doctors are just, you know, they'll do stuff if there's a problem, but what about the, 20 years leading up to the problem, I don't know. I've been like kind of moderately okay with my doc anyway, so seems like a good time to look for something else. Yeah, Quindy's working. It does cost them future money. Yep. That's why I want somebody who's more concerned with the health of their patients than making money off of their disorders in the future. I'm not that jaded and disheartened about the medical profession. I still believe that most doctors want to do well, but it's just the way our medical system works right now. I'm very much into medicine 3.0 and preventative medicine. There we go. Just giving a little bit more shadow here, just working it in because we need to have that contrast. This is a little mottled and kind of like not smooth, so I'm going to work on this for a little bit, guys. I'm also going to mix a little bit of a white plus Death Knight Black mixture and reinforce this little reflection on the bottom of the pommel here. A little bit more down here. Kiki, no, that's enough. No. That's enough. Thank you. Yes, I know you're very alert. You think there's an axe murderer, but there's not. Just somebody out there doing construction. Yeah, I have some rooibos teas. Kiki, that's enough. Settle down or you're getting put out. Yeah, settle down. Enough of the barks. Yeah, you know. You know it. Enough of the barks. Settle down. There's somebody hammering on something down the block. Yeah, you just be quiet. Good girl. Yeah. Hey there, Richard. How's it going? On a driving playlist? Depends on the time of day, Shadow Raven. I used to have a night driving playlist and a day driving playlist. On the night driving playlist, Journey's Don't Stop Believin' is a must. On the road again, played on endless repeat. Oh, nice, Zachariah. You are rescuing a kitty cat, huh? Cool. What color is the kitty? And do you have a name yet? That's about right. Okay, we stop there with our shadow. Darkening it down. To get that nice contrast there. Cool. Nice, Zachariah. Excellent. Congrats on your new family member, your imminent new family member. I'm just kind of, when I do this, it's almost like I don't have a wet palette, so when I do spot mixes, I'm just doing a lot of spot mixes up on this little area between my well and my wet palette. I'm just using a little bit of this lemon yellow and white mixture that's real thin, kind of buff out that, blend in that shadow. Morning, Daffodweir. I'm going to brighten up this area just a little bit. So most of my my fitness equipment showed up really early. We were not expecting it to come so fast. It came while we were gone. So now I have a weight bench that I need to put together. And I have 2 new 25-pound dumbbells that feel impossibly heavy. And I have 35-pound weight plates for my barbell, so that I can deadlift more with putting fewer weight plates on. Hey, Tyler. Good morning. Oh, well, put that on for sure, Twisted Oma. All right. I am going to work on the base just a little bit, although eventually we'll probably end up sculpting more of this chonky texture. But we'll at least work on it. Let's see, do I have an extra base around? I have bases in the box, hiding behind Larry Elmore. Or did I move them? Oh no, I may have relocated my basing. Oh, maybe I have some in here. Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe my basing box is elsewhere. I may have carried it into the back room. I think I just need to order more bases. I think these are mostly big. There we go. That's a base. And of course, if you were painting these together, you would want to keep this base without putting the halfling on a separate base because they fit together, the bases do, on these models. I do need to figure out where I put my base box. Ah. Oh no, these are big. I couldn't do that. That's why I got the 25 pound. Also, if you want to do any like snatch movements, Pendrake, which is from the floor up to over your head, which is a standard movement in CrossFit and weights, you got to have one. It doesn't work with two. I don't know that it's very safe with two unless your hands are very big, but even then, not ideal. Not ideal. I have modifiable dumbbells that David owned that essentially have fallen to me because he does not use them. And those are up to 15 pounds each, but I need heavier at this point. So now we have the modifiable up to 15 pound set and the 25 pounders, which 25 pounder is kind of like the weight for women my age to aim for, so I will just have to work on it. Yeah, take care of yourself, Twistoma. So I'm just going to put some really light color at the front of each of these blocks, and I'll blend it in a little bit with stippling. Maybe we'll glue him down on this before I get to all that, and then I can paint him on the base. Oh yeah, that'd make the bill more than the car is worth. I feel it, Twisted Oma. Is your insurance paying for it? Maybe you can. I mean, you hate to total the car, but oh no, I'm out of sticky notes. No, I'm not. Where are my other sticky notes? Must dig out sticky notes. I know I have more in here. There, haha. Is this one that I need? Yeah. Sweet. More sticky notes have been found. Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound safe for rapid moves, Pendrake. I think I'd pass on that one. And I'm gonna, let me just load up my sticky note dispenser here, guys. There we go. Sticky note dispenser loaded. Perfect. Now I can use this sticky note to block this slot of base. My hands are fairly small, but yeah, I don't think that would work for me, that dumbbell move. Oh, nice. Nice, Trash. Awesome. How many colors did you end up making? Oh, sorry, I'm too close. There we go. Oh, wow, a lot. Wow. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, that can help. I found that doing things like curls and that sort of thing, Shadow Raven, helped with any like carpal tunnel or wrist or arm pain that I used to have because I am at the computer a lot. It's never a bad idea. It's never too late. Never too late to start. And weights can help with your blood sugar too. Active muscle can help with your blood sugar if you. Most of us don't have problems, but can help stabilize your glucose. Alrighty, here we go. 16 colors, nice. He's having Reaper do it, Richard. If you get enough bottles ordered, you can pay to have Reaper remake a canceled color. And doing it for ReaperCon was a total stroke of genius, Trash. Like, that's honestly the best way to do it because you can guarantee having people for all those. I have to take the excess sticky goo off of this. So yeah, Trashorama just helped organize the painting community to order out-of-print colors. So I'm just going to grab my big old glob of sticky goo and take it off. Bye, Thurston. Have a good day. So we're going to use this just to, and the best way is not to go up and down on this, but it's to push like you're trying to mop it up. For some reason that makes it much easier to pull sticky tack off with sticky tack, whereas you just go up and down, it doesn't really do anything, but if you press and push, you can get all the sticky tack off. And now we have a blank block for a new model. But I'll probably do his companion, one of his companions. I'll maybe do the woman with the torch. Because, you know, we don't have enough OSL. But then you guys got to stop complaining and asking for OSL because, like, I've done, like, 3. Alright. So we'll end up sculpting more rocky stuff to go around his base. Where's my glue? So, seriously, is all my glue in the back? Will this glue work? Maybe I still have glue in this one. Oh, Thursday. Okay. Remember, I'm off Friday. I'm off Friday, everybody. It's my birthday. Let's see if I still have glue. Oh, yeah, I do still have glue in this. Boop. Just around the edges. Press it down. We'll let it set for a second. Yeah, I will be off Friday. Everybody always wants me to do lighting, so it doesn't matter if you ask for that one or not, Shadow Raven. But people always ask for it. So these are whether you specifically asked for that or not doesn't matter. It's that everybody was clamoring for OSL, so I did a bunch of OSL. So we're going to stop doing OSL for a while after all these OSL projects. I'm just going to lay this lightly on top of the sticky tack. Press it down just a little bit, just to keep it in place. Then we can keep working on the stones. Yeah, the reason that inspired me, though, Shadow Raven, was that I knew that everybody was asking for OSL. Like, I would normally not have gone for it. I would have probably, had everybody not been clamoring for OSL, I probably would not have done that particular project. It was fun and all, but now we can take a step back. So specifically lighting one end, huh? Because I want to block off, the other way to block off the slotted base and not leave gaps is to like green stuff it or use putty or something, Slayer. If I don't block it off, then I'm going to have these little gaps around the edge here of the base. There would be a little gap here for the slot on this side and on this side. And like, yes, I could green stuff sculpt over them, but I just find it a pain in the butt. I also don't want glue to leak down through the slot when I glue it, because most of the time I'm not using the thicker glue that I just used for him. So essentially, my easy solution is just to sticky note this, because then no glue is going to come down through it, and I don't have to worry about like putty sinking down into it as I'm trying to sculpt over it. Does that make sense? Doesn't matter if you use a base type that doesn't have a slot in it, but I like this particular round-edged base for smaller models, and so I do the sticky note thing to keep it from being annoying. Because I can't tell you how many like slotted base models I worked with when I was younger where the glue would just drip down, or I would try to do green stuff over the top, but I had to do a layer of green first and then let it set and then do the green stuff or the gravel over the top, and it was just a pain in the butt. You could probably paint it, Richard. You just have to break it down. I mean, just get a wizard that's very similar and just try to copy it, like, bit for bit. You probably would have some errors, but it also probably would work better than, like, not having a reference, so... And if you do it and it doesn't look right, then just really compare, like, bit to bit your wizard against the wizard on the cover. The thing is that it would take you longer than you like to spend on a model, so I don't know if it would be worth it for you. You might be able to really roughly block it in and get it, though. Richard. The key is to slow down. Like, you get your wizard that's as close as you can to that one. And I know exactly the art you mean, because, you know, I'm a D&D nerd, too. An early D&D nerd. But, and then just really look at, like, say, okay, where does the light stop on his nose, right? Where does it stop on his forehead? Okay, I'm going to try to paint that, you know. But you could do it pretty fast and just not blend, and as long as your lighting was correct, it would look great on the tabletop. So I'm really focusing toward one side, toward where the light is coming from on these stones, and I want to bring up the light on those edges. That's going to really lead the eye to believe that the light is stronger there. I also want to highlight more on these feet because they're really going to be hit with that light. More light there. That is absolutely not what I said, War Shadow. When you've got an excellent step-by-step reference, and you can break it down into sections, drawing an owl is much harder. Yes, I know the meme, by the way. But drawing an owl is much harder than just... You've already got the owl drawn. It's your miniature. All you have to do is paint it. But the way that I would do it when I was learning is I would just compare every little section as I went. Oh, not really hyper. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that people wanted both clear oranges. Like I said, they're interchangeable. There may be formulaic differences, but they do the same thing, and they're such a close to each other color that, in my recollection. But shrug, whatever. I'm glad chestnut gold got made. It's a really utilitarian color. So we're bringing up the light. I'm going to do a bit of stippling as I go in here. Yeah, the whiteboard suddenly full of stuff. Oh, the last wood elf. Yay! You can switch off of green and brown now. Are you going to go diametric and like paint a corn army after this? When you're sick of green, paint red? You could go Zinch. Blue and pink. That's a good thing to do, though. I always tell people to copy other artists that they like. Trash. That's the way to do it. Like, either copy an artwork or concept art, or copy the paint job of an artist you like that you can get good pictures of. Like that is an absolutely valid like way to learn. It's not cheating. It's something I recommend to people all the time. I did it to Jennifer Haley's work when I was learning. I'm like, oh, I really like her style. I wonder if I could paint that. Like, I totally stole. Like, I took a model that she had painted, and I got that I could get a good picture of, and I duplicated it, and I learned a lot that way. It's not cheating. Every art student in every art school across the nation learns like that. They learn by imitation. Because working out how to do it yourself from a picture is one of the best ways that you can learn. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm talking about too. Is mimic box art, because specifically you can get a good picture of it, right? Box art's is one of the better because you know that the photography is good and you know that it's a good representative picture, and usually it's a really good resolution, so you can see well enough to duplicate it. But yeah, Luca's exactly correct. It's a great way to learn. So you can see the light definitely gathering toward the front of these. I have to hit these a little harder. This one looks good. Out of all those colors, I think chestnut gold is one of the most useful. It is easy to mix yourself, but a lot of people don't like to mix it. It's a great highlight for brunette hair. The best highlight for brunette hair, I think. Brings up that golden brown color. There we go. Now you're seeing the light, right? You can see the shadow being cast by him. I actually need to blue out this. Now, if we really want to do the shadow, we got to get kind of a reference here. There we go. So I can see that the shadow is like going right across here. So I want to kill that light right there. Now I'm going to take my black. Ah, the Skaven, yep. Yep, I like rats. David's already painting like a really nice rat set for demons though, so I can't have them. I'm one of those people who likes to not paint the same thing as other people, especially not when it's the other painter in my household. So I'm going to get my Death Knight and I'm going to black out that shadow area there. You can see me starting to bring that in. I'm putting some pure black in there too. Hey Boombox, thanks for the raid. Nice to see ya. How's your day going? I'm doing shadows. Shadows for my lighting effect here. I'm gonna stipple that in to kind of blend it. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's put that shadow on the front here. So I kind of made a nice dark shadow coming out from his foot there. You can see it. Now I'm going to kind of look at up here and turn. I've got a bright light source right up there. So I'm kind of like looking at it from that. And I need to black in this area here, I think. Literally. And then with some Death Knight. Then I bring in my black and reinforce all the cracks between these blocks. So just bringing in pure black for the back of these blocks. Nice. Gonna do have to do my work on my $5 PDF today because I'm kind of behind for the month. But I'm going to do copying colors from, because that's it, color mixing is kind of the theme of the month. It's copying colors from nature. And I think I'm going to take a raspberry that's just starting to turn like reddish pink, like that still has a color transition. And mix those colors to paint part of a Hydra because Kuroniko, I'm channeling Kuroniko. I have to use dragon. I don't have a dragon to hand, but I have the Greek Odyssey Hydra, and we're not going to paint it on stream. So I can steal one of its heads and do a raspberry Hydra. A not quite ripe raspberry Hydra. So kind of examples of mixing colors from real life and how to go about it. And food was specifically the question from my patron, because they had a barmaid with some food on the tray, and they realized like they had no idea what colors to use for actual food. It's not like we have a color called fresh baked bread brown, although chestnut gold would be a good one for that. Alrighty, there we go. That looks nice. That's very comic book, actually. It's very, with the black shadows, you can get very, very comic book. I'm only going to do one head, and I'm going to do a color transition with the raspberries. You guys know the color I'm thinking about, right? Here. What images? Trying to look for exactly the color I'm looking at. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, raspberries, stages of ripening. So like when you're getting that kind of orangey pink, these are kind of gross and not like showing it correctly. But you can get this really delicate coral color, kind of like that. It's like when you've got some of the yellow. Mine aren't this green. Mine go yellow and then they go kind of an orange pink. And that's the color I want. But kind of like that. Kind of like the orange pink. Here. Like kind of that except from the cream. From a cream color. Cream, orange, and then the raspberry color. So I figured I would do... Oh, they've got a strawberry one that's better. Oh, that's raspberry. Yeah, this is better. Because it's more of the orangey. So kind of like that creamy orangey color and then kind of the pinky coral color and then the raspberry color. So that's the Hydra I want to do. Alrighty, folks. Yay. So we're set up to start some basing on him. We've got a bunch of models that we need to like I need to paint the rest of the basing on Ghost Lady. She'll be fast and easy since she's already sculpted. Oh, I need to order a base for that, so I can't just do that base. And I might do, you remember Mouse? Maybe we'll finally do a base for Mouse. Gunslinger Big Mouse. Because I have some things set over here that could be used. But yeah, so we need to do, there's actually quite a bit. That and the Wraith and the Mouse Guard. So maybe we'll do, not this week, maybe, because tomorrow is Night Elf Sophie. As I was slowly trying to figure out. Remember we were blocking colors, trying to figure out what color everything was? And we're still trying to do that. Although I was working on the wood, and I think I'm going to keep working on the wood. Because we blocked in a lot of the browns on her. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We got a Sophie day tomorrow. Whee! But we're also going to need to do, like, basing on this guy and on Librarian Sophie. So yeah, maybe we will get some basing in this week. Yeah, because Sophie is pretty much ready to sculpt the base. So yeah, maybe it will be a base week. I don't know. Maybe the next couple weeks will be base weeks. I have no idea. Yeah, basing streams. I'll probably do, no, I didn't, Pendrake. I'll probably do, just a few base streams, and then we'll paint a bit more, and then I'll do some more base streams. I really want to get some of this basing done. We had Wyvern, too, from last year. Remember Wyvern? He never got done in time to go to Ron last year. So I'm thinking I'm going to finish this painting this base on him so that he can go to Ron this year. Yeah, some of these are going to be green work. Some of these are going to be like working with like plastic art and stuff. Oh. Sophie was close enough to Barbie in the beginning anyway. I'm like, I've never felt the need to make Sophie more of a Barbie character. Not until they put out, like, you know, Paladin Barbie. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have Paladin army in full armor with a sword? That's what I want, guys. Come on, Barbie people. Get it with a program. That's my feels, guys. That's my feels. Actually, let me grab my models to show you guys that are coming up. There's going to be a lot of simple stuff, but there's also... Let me grab them. I have them sitting over here waiting to be broken out of their packaging. Yeah, there's two simple ones. So I've got the two more of Halfling's friends. So we're going to be painting Dwarf Girl, which is my, you know, I love female dwarves, so I'm happy. Dwarf Cleric Girl. And we're going to be painting Lady with the Torch, Warrior Lady with the Torch. And then the last one I want to do, even though like it's not a super popular model, but I really actually like it, is the Ottersmark guy. The kind of historical with the Zweihander. I really want to paint him. I paint him really, really colorful. Like probably red and gold. But I actually really think he's cool, so. And he's a Bones USA. So I think I really want to paint him. So yeah, those are the three that I've got kind of lined up now. And I've got more fresh stuff that I got in my last order. Yeah. So we'll be painting those. Those will be probably... I wanted to, even though I made an order and I got a bunch of stuff, and I also dug a bunch of stuff out of my, like, the back of my things. Like, we are going to be painting the female halfling dog rider at some point. But I really wanted to go through some of my back stock that just models that we hadn't really chosen to paint yet. And then I can dip into the stuff that I just ordered from Reaper last month and do that. So, but yeah, we'll get a few more simple models. And I mean, the simple models are ripe for stuff like lighting effects, because it's very, like, a simpler model is easier to show a lighting effect on than something that's super complicated. So just keep that in mind if you decide you want to do OSL. Obviously, we have gone against the grain on that when we're working on our dude, who has a lot of stuff on him. But then that's also been very challenging, right? So he's looking really good, though. I'm really happy with how he's coming out. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there on the back, and then I want to change a couple of things. And we got to do the sword, obviously. But he's still got a couple of sessions, at least, on him. But yeah, we're good with Halfling. We can do basing. I'll put him in my... I'm making a little basing pile over there. So we'll be working on that stuff. And then I think that's about it. It's about 10 after. I almost made up for my lost time. I can go a little late tomorrow, make up the last 5 minutes. Oh, yawn. Oh, like I said, kind of sluggish today, guys. I hope the rest of you have a much more awake day than I am having so far. Yep, yeah, sorry. You know what's the funniest thing? The funniest thing is when Kiki yawns and sets me off yawning, and then David yawns. Like the dog will start it. She'll always start it. But thank you, everybody. Yeah, I hope that you all have a lovely Monday. So yeah, we'll be here. I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I'll be taking my day off. Just get my birthday weekend. Because I just want to, after having a full weekend full of stuff, I just want to like totally veg for a while. You know the feeling? Yes, thanks, Quindy. Thanks for being our wonderful stream shepherd, and John for the backup. And yeah, we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun with Sophie tomorrow. Still blocking, but blocking. Maybe we'll do some wood texture on her staff. All right. Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a lovely day.